necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from
scoot over here next to me a little bit.
Today.
Get cozy here in the studio. A couple of dudes.
All right, gentlemen.
Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817.
Hot mics in 5,
Toll
4,
free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jason Bible. It's Tuesday. Build Your Team Tuesday. That's what I'm calling it. Build Your Team Tuesday. So one of the things that we teach is that you've got to build your team of 10s, people who are the best at what they do. And we're starting today's show off with Brandon Foundation Check. How are you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here on a very rainy day. When it rains like that last night, what does that do to foundations?
I tell you what, actually, with that amount of rain that happened last night, 5 to 8 inches, it is the best time to go out and inspect your foundation.
Really?
Just because it really will tell you if water is pooling predominantly around your foundation. It would also give you an idea where traditionally you can see leaves and some dirt movement or the actual erosion is taking place. These are some of the things that we personally look at when we come out and inspect the homes. We can tell, but the average homeowner, the average investor, just after a fresh rain is really ideal. And in fact, we love to do inspections directly after a rain. We just did an inspection yesterday, in fact, for one of the Right Path guys. And it was, I had to explain to him, hey, we can't quite do the inspection during the rainstorm. Yeah. but after the rainstorm is a perfect fit for us to come out and really see how that water is moving around the foundation. Is it pooling and is it affecting the foundation? So Ideally, you would like to have, that water moving away from the slab 5 to 8 feet, and then, going out to whether it's a guttering system, whether it's CD drainage, whether it's a retainer pond, whatever it may be.
So I've got this house in Sugarland, and the backyard's a swamp. But as long as it's 5 to 8 feet from the foundation, I'm probably okay.
You're probably okay now, as long as it drains within a 24-hour period.
Oh, yeah, it totally drains that quick.
Okay. Yeah. You don't want it sticking around 24, 48 hours, and then from there, that's a whole different situation that can cause issues later on. But, yeah.
That's when the kids start getting carried away by mosquitoes.
That is correct. That is correct.
So you got foundation issues and mosquitoes. So for those folks that are outside of Houston, they're thinking, I really want to move to Houston. This sounds like a great place to hang out. So talk about what Foundation Check does. You guys don't have any trucks and you're not lifting up foundations. So what is it that you guys do for investors?
Sure, absolutely. So basically, we're your eyes and ears. We come out traditionally on the front side of evaluations when you've got the property under contract or when you've closed. We'll come out. We'll kind of be the first people in. Our goal is to do the front end engineering and analysis on that particular foundation. It's about 80% of our clients actually save money when they use our report on the front side. We do the heavy engineering, we do the analysis. When you hire us, we're basically your eyes and ears. It's a truly independent analysis. We're not a repair company. I have no dog in the race, no fight, whatever it's called.
You don't have a 1-ton truck with a bunch of concrete piers sitting in the back of it, right?
No. And our goal is to put pier placement if it's needed. If it's outside of tolerance levels, then our goal is to put piers in, okay, to make sure that slab is performing within tolerances. Unlike some foundation companies that, their goal, the more piers they put in, the more money they make.
That's right.
I mean, they have a vested interest in what they do. Now, there's some very good quality companies out there that do good work. It's just that traditionally over time, with our analysis and our front-end engineering, we're able to help the client out and also talk to the foundation companies and kind of come up with the game plan on the front side of getting that foundation to where it needs to go in order to perform long-term.
Yeah, I like some of the things you guys do is you sit down and go, all right, this is probably what we should do. This is what we have to do. This is what we should do. But hey, guys, we don't always have to do breakouts for every single pier, right? Maybe we can do one breakout here, and we can do multiple piers instead of turning your foundation into Swiss cheese.
Sure, absolutely. My door is always open. My phone's always available. I think last time I was on the show, we had a pier and beam house, and we were working on getting those basically joists underneath the slab reshimmed. But the problem is that the slope of the earth was physically angled, and our recommendation was actually to go down because of the slope instead of up. We had to work really with the contractor on that to really get the slab within tolerance levels. Everybody thinks up is the only way to go. Well, when we ran our analysis, we look at the slope of the earth, the topography, and it really showed that it was easier to go down to get the slab performing correctly.
Excellent. Okay, so you can go up. Probably, do you go down on very many concrete slab foundations?
No.
Probably not. Those probably end up mostly going up. Huh?
That is correct. Yeah, that was just a kind of a one-off deal that we, Tom always asks me, "Hey, what's going on? What's the most dropped you've seen? What's the most unique foundation you guys have looked at?" So yesterday we did an analysis where the back right part of the slab was about 3 inches up, and the front part of the slab, predominantly in the garage, was a total of 10 inches down. But you got to realize there's probably a 4 to 5 inch. You step into a garage, so you have some variance.
Right.
But in total, that's an 8 inch. That's an 8 or 9 inch differential.
Wow.
That's over in Baytown. So.
Yeah. Wow. And I would assume, so one of the biggest questions we always get from folks is, hey, Jason, I mean, if I walk a house, am I going to be able to tell it needs foundation issue? A house like that, probably pretty easy to tell.
Absolutely. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009. We completed right now about 1,700 evaluations here in Houston. Personally, I'm an investor myself. I literally, just like you and Tom, I've walked thousands of houses, and I can tell you, we've ran analysis where I walked the home, and I thought the home was good to go, and it was passing within tolerances. And then we ran the calculations against it, and it failed. The reverse has happened where, man, I walked the slab, and I'm like, I think this thing is close, but it's probably going to need pier work. So we go ahead and put it into the repair budget, and then we do the calculations, we do the analysis, and then boom, it passes within tolerances with a little bit of light touch up, or whether it's drainage, erosion, guttering, getting the home set up to last long term.
So what do you find is the biggest issue? Is it the water issue? Is it a soil issue? What is it that usually causes a significant? Now I realize that you look at a ton of these things and they're all a little bit different, but what do you see as kind of maybe the top 3 or 4 things that cause foundation issues?
Sure. Well, hand over fist, it's got to be water management or water movement, water coming in or out of the slab. Ideally, we'd like to keep the water, at constant, for the whole slab underneath. We don't want it too dry. We don't want it too spongy where that clay is going to start to absorb, and expand. And we don't want it to, to compress and go that far. So water management, number one. Probably the biggest thing with older homes that you and I prefer to look at, homes that 30, 40 years old. Trees. I mean, simply trees. Just the larger trees, the medium trees are about 50 gallons. And then the larger ones can go upwards of 100 gallons a day. I mean, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of water coming in and out of that area. And we love trees. The majority of the time, we prefer to keep them if possible. A lot of people call us and say, "Hey, this tree's got to come out. That's got to come out. That's got to come out." Well, that's not always the case, because if that tree's been in there for 30 or 40 years and you pull that big old tree out next to the slab, then you're going to be affecting how that moisture moves in and around that slab, because it's had it there for 30 or 40 years. There's some things that you can do with that tree, hopefully, to make sure that it's not sucking as much water. It's getting the proper drainage, and hopefully you can keep that tree for long term.
Yeah, another problem with those trees is those roots start finding those little cracks in the plumbing, and they start getting into that sub-slab plumbing, and that's real inexpensive to fix.
Right. And that's a good point. We get a lot of questions. Hey, roots. The roots are in my pipes. They're going to cause my foundation to move. Roots traditionally do not cause the foundation to move. They're not strong enough. It's physically the water. Now, a lot of the cast iron pipes, as you know, or even concrete pipes underneath the slab, a lot of times those start to deteriorate, and literally those roots, they will go towards the water, And it's not that the root penetrated; it's just that the line had collapsed at some
Yeah.
point or deteriorated, and that's really what is there. It's not that the roots powered through that
Right,
cement
right.
and-
Yeah, it was a
and
little
forth.
crack, and then it just started kind of growing in there.
Yeah.
So free water, right? Plants love it. So water movement and trees, is that kind of the whole enchilada there, or you see some other things?
No, drainage probably be number 2.
Okay.
That's where we see, the pooling aspect. We talked about it earlier
Mm-hmm.
in the show. Water that basically sits around the foundation
Mm-hmm.
and is there for a long amount of time. I mean, it just really affects it, whether it could be from pets, it could be from poor drainage.
Mm-hmm.
Poor drainage is probably the number one thing that that we see out there in the field more than anything. So
And we have seen it a couple of times where the dog goes back there and digs a hole next to the foundation, and then water just starts going in there and just destroys the foundation.
Yep.
It's amazing. So I love this question because I get asked all the time, why don't we have more pier and beam foundations in Texas, or at least in South Texas, as opposed to concrete slabs? Seems like it'd be a lot easier to fix the pier and beam than it is a concrete slab. Any idea on that one?
Well, I mean, I personally, I think the majority of people prefer a concrete slab.
Mm-hmm.
Now, realize that a lot of our slabs are post-tension. They're designed to bend, as long as they hopefully don't break.
Right.
And with a traditional PT slab, our slabs can move up to 3/4 of an inch a year and be fine. Mm-hmm. And that's the way they're engineered. That's the way they're designed. And as far as in regards to going to pier and beam, a lot of those are starting to pop up in the Memorial area.
Yep,
and
the higher end areas,
and
you're
the
starting to see a
higher
lot of
end.
those. Yep.
And that is due to whether it's flooding or drainage. A lot of those are starting to pop up, in those neck of the town. So,
Well, why don't you give your contact info and so how people can get in touch with you and how the process works of using Foundation Check.
sure, absolutely. Telephone number 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825, or find us online at foundationcheck.com. Kind of what our inspection entails. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hour inspection. We have 3 components. We have a written report with pictures. All in that written report, we will have some recommendations. Those recommendations will depend on if you're flipping the home, or if you're a tenant or landlord, or if you're a homeowner. And then we have an AutoCAD drawing to scale with elevation readings. And then we have the final piece that really encompasses it all to Texas state law, is that all of our files are reviewed by a licensed professional engineer. And it's stamped off on. If you're a house flipper, man, it is very important to give that piece of paper.
It's awesome. It's like kryptonite. You hand it to the inspector and you hand it, they go, oh, okay, cool.
And they're able to have peace of mind, check it off, that it was done correctly, that it was all passed, because that engineering letter supersedes that inspector, and the inspector moves on. Traditionally, you'll see in the inspection reports, see third party company,
analysis, yeah.
Whether that's a foundation repair company, which I don't recommend, or a structural engineer, or a company like us. Mention Right Path Real Estate. There is a discount. So it's for the cost of all report, it's $650 in total. Usually we run it about 2 to 3 days on a turn time.
Contact information again?
Sure, 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825, or find us online at foundationcheck.com.
Appreciate the time. Thanks for coming by.
Okay, no problem.
Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
Man, those go quick, don't they?
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS comps, you understand the frustration. How much would it help you if you no longer had to wait for a real estate agent to get you the info you need to
All right,
close
see
the
ya.
deal? Propelio is a brokerage website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high equity lead lists and comps with access to a network of the top real estate agents. Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal.
Did y'all get the pie?
Turn around on quotes.
Okay, good.
My wife's like, there's a box here that says it's from Texas. I was like, well, it's one of two things. It's either something good or something
bad. Yeah.
Call Houston's leading
It's
real
not
estate
certified, is it?
Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. 281-569.
I was wondering, I'm like, I hope it doesn't sit on the porch during the summertime. Although I guess it's not, the weather's not bad up there. So
no.
Benchmark Broker.
You get
It's
a
already
warm
half
pie.
gone. She loves pecan pies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like one of her favorite.
Oh,
pumpkin
excellent.
Pecan, so you hit it.
That's the that's the place to get them too.
This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen
All
is
right,
a group
let me
of
see
appraisers
what's going on
specializing
here.
in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle
We have
for
our,
mediocre results? There's a better place to invest.
Orientation
The
this
Expert
Friday
Degree,
for folks that want to
single-family
use the
real estate is one of
funds.
the
Oh,
best
cool.
investments
Yeah,
you
talk
can
about
do.
talk
To
about
find
all
out how
that.
JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today
think
at
we can get contact information up here somewhere.
281-915-0906 or visit our
Yep.
website,
crawler.
jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906.
It's like Fox News over here.
This investment is offered
Do
to
what? No
accredited
crawler?
investors.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly
Oh.
general contractor for your investment
And
property?
Tom would read it the
Then
whole
call
time.
Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992
All right, guys, we got
or
1
reach
minute.
us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties.
Let me link
Whether it's
Brandon
a flip
in this
rehab
one.
or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832.
So are you guys getting leads from that mailing list we put together a couple weeks ago?
742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Say again?
Are you guys getting leads from that mailing list we did a couple weeks ago?
We didn't hit it yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we want to talk to you about Colby today.
Okay.
See if we can get that to work.
Okay.
All right, fellas, stand by. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, folks. One of my favorite shows. It's Build Your Team Tuesday. And I'm here with Robert Orfino of JB Fund Services. What's going on?
Good morning, Jason.
How'd you like that traffic, by the way?
I
It's
love
not like
it.
L.A., but...
There was a flood. That was very interesting to me. I was like, hey, wow, look at this.
Look at this. There's water everywhere. It wasn't here when I flew in last night. So what do you guys do over at JB Fund Services?
So what we're doing is we put together crowd funds, and we have different crowd funds, but what we're working on here in the Houston region is 100% funding for single family and 4-unit flippers. So basically
Okay.
residential flippers.
Mhm.
And it's 100% funding. It is it's a true 100% funding deal. So it's not just gap funding. It's all the other stuff on top of it, the monthly payments, the taxes, the water bill, the permit fees, the architectural fees, the foundation inspection, all that stuff. It's 100% of everything. And then what we do is we joint venture with the flipper, and typically we're finding new flippers or folks that understand the value of leverage, and they don't want to use their own cash to flip houses. So that's what we do.
So you guys partner with, what, hard money lenders, private lenders, those sorts of things?
It's a win-win for everyone. Everyone is in on it. We definitely want to use a hard money lender. We think that hard money lenders understand the market probably the best. It is their business. They typically don't lose on deals.
Yeah.
So if they say no to the deal, we're not going to say yes.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, these guys said no, then that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's one of those things we always teach when somebody says, "Oh, I want to be a private lender and I'm doing this deal that all these hard money lenders turn down." And I'm like, "Oh, you're in for a world of hurt. You have no idea what you're doing."
Right. There's the answer. The
Yeah.
answer is no. It's not going to be yes if you keep taking it to someone else. So
Yeah.
the expert in the marketplace is typically the hard money lenders, and if they say no, we say no. So we partner with them. We partner with a new flipper, or someone understands the value of leverage. Typically, contractors are good people for the program that they have the skills, they understand it, they don't necessarily have the resources, and they come to us, and we'll partner up and provide 100% funding.
So the deal still has to make sense. It's not like you guys can magically make a deal better, right? I mean, it's just what it sounds like. What you guys do is really work with the borrower, because the borrower is lacking a couple of things in order to secure that loan.
Right. It's usually those that first deal when you're talking to a hard money lender, and they'll say, "Yeah, we'll do 100% of construction and maybe 90% of the acquisition," and you think you only got to bring $20,000 to the table, but it's $50,000 to $70,000 that you need, and so that's when they turn to us and we'll say, "Yes, we like the deal. We want to partner with you guys."
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss. They go, "Oh yeah, we'll do." They'll do 100% financing, but I got to come up with construction. I got to pay for some construction out of pocket. I've got some carrying costs that I have to pay monthly, and I don't have
Points.
50 and points and all
Fees.
that. Yeah, and it adds up quick. Like you said, 20 grand turns to 50 or 60 pretty quick.
Yeah, in a blink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do let's say I'm interested in working with JB Fund Services. How does that process work? How do I get in with you guys?
So we really want to know who our partners are, right? And so we typically do a one-day orientation to understand what the program is about, and then we also lay out just a whole bunch of best practice tips that we want them to use. We want our partners to be profitable, obviously, since the more profit you make, the more profit I make. So we are definitely interested in making sure they have all the best practice techniques that we can provide, as well as understanding the use of the fund, and we do that in a one-day orientation.
Okay. And you have any of those orientations coming up?
We do. We have one coming up on Friday, and it'll be up in spring. And if you go to partners.jbfundservices.com.
If your insurance company is slow and non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that.
We're about to go back live. Hold on.
What happened?
Binders and the
I
agency
have no
for that is
idea. Like
Benchmark Insurance Group of
the
Texas.
levels just
The
went
team at
flat,
Benchmark
and I'm like,
understands the
I
investor
looked and it
mindset.
was
They know
disconnected.
what
I'm like,
you need
Jason,
and when you
Jason.
need it. It's there
We're
for
still
you.
live on
Call
Facebook,
Houston's
so I
leading
don't know
real
what's going
estate
on.
Risk management experts.
I don't know, but hold on one
Benchmark
second.
Where'd it cut out at?
281-569.
I don't. It just started going dead when
That's
your guest was talking.
281-569,
It was cutting in and out, and then
or
the levels were
online
just
at
flatlined. Hold on.
Okay.
Did you know that there are over $24
Okay, we'll go
trillion
back and talk about what
in
does JB Fund
retirement accounts
Services
in
do,
the
so.
U.S.? Imagine if you could
That's
use
weird.
someone's IRA to fund all of your
When it
deals.
rains this much,
well,
internet
you
goes
can.
in and out.
Quest
Does it?
IRA is
Yeah, it's like a
based
third
locally
world.
here in
It's like
Houston,
Banana
Texas.
Republic
TV
here.
was out.
At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory
See guys
notes,
with
private
AK-47s on the
entities,
street.
And much more.
I'm gonna
Many
let
of
this
our
commercial
clients
play out,
loan
and then I'm
money
gonna play
from
the
their
recording, and then we're
IRAs
gonna go
to
live.
fund real estate
Okay.
deals all over the country. We don't sell any or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at
See what's going on here.
1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA.
I can take 2 minutes
at
out of the last commercial break to make this segment a little longer.
IRAs.
Yeah, that'd
Or
be
go
great.
to our website, questira.com.
Call Jason at 713
All right, gentlemen, here we go again. Hot mics in
and look
5,
for us on Facebook
4,
Live at
3, 2,
facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Welcome back. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. I'm here with Robert Orfino of JB Fund Services. Whenever it rains this much, the internet goes out. I was telling Robert it's like a banana republic down here in Houston. It just rains, power goes out. It's pure bedlam. So let's go back. What does JB Fund Services do, and then how does an investor work with you guys?
Sure. So what JB Fund Services does is put together crowd funds that helps folks, raise money and distribute money. Here in the Houston marketplace, what we're working on is a 100% funding program for flippers that are doing 1 to 4 units, so residential. And we provide true 100% funding, not just the gap funding, but all the other stuff that goes on top of it. Architect fees, engineering fees, city fees, all the points that the hard money lender is going to need, all the fees that the hard money needs to get going. 7 to 9 months worth of payments are taken out. So It's a true 100% funding. If we partner with you, you just have to find the deal and run the deal. We'll bring all the funds, everything that's needed.
So how does somebody come and work with you guys?
Sure. So we like to know who we're working with, and so it starts with an orientation. We do it's usually about a day, and we'll go through how to use the fund and what we're looking for and understanding the numbers. And then we'll give them a whole bunch of best practice tips, making sure that they are making their project as efficient as possible and as profitable as possible, because at the end of the day, our investors obviously are in it for a return on their investment. And so we just do a one-day orientation, and we go through, and then we also have our webinars, internal webinars every month, and when I'm in town, we'll grab coffee. So I want to make sure that all the flippers are understanding what's going on and that we're true partners in the deal.
So you guys just aren't providing money, you're providing expertise, as you guys have done a zillion flips all over the place. So you're providing some level of oversight to say, all right, guys, we were supposed to get this done this week, or did we get it done? That sort of thing.
Sure, we lend a project manager, and then we always have eyes on it, and we're always looking for pictures. We want as many pictures as possible. You can try and hide some stuff in pictures, but most of the time you can go through and say, hey, the tile's not in, or this isn't done right, and stuff like that. So we do provide oversight. We want to make sure that the project is moving ahead and is on track to be profitable.
And so when do you guys, if you see a new investor, because it sounds like a lot of times you're working with some newer investors, when do y'all step in and say, all right, guys, let's get this kind of figured out, what's going on with the project?
Yeah, so there is a bit of a short leash, because it can run pretty fast. The plumber doesn't show up for 3 weeks and everything is behind. So typically what we're going to do is give you about 7 to 10 days and say, hey, you're behind, and you got to get caught up, and what's the plan to get caught up, and how are we going to do this, and let's get on the phone with the contractor and figure that out. If after that 7 to 10 weeks we don't see any progress, they get a certified letter that basically says, Jason, we love you, we're going to work together for a very long time, but at this point you need to step aside, and we need to bring our contractor and our project manager in to wrap up this project. And so we just got to make sure the deal gets done. That's the most important thing.
It's like, hey, we'll be friends, but we got to get this done, guys.
And we're happy to take the next one. It happens. I've flipped a lot of homes, and we all have our horror stories. There's no hiding the mess in this business.
Right.
So it just happens. It's one of those things. You take it as a learning experience and just immediately get over it and get to the next one.
Yeah, I tell folks all the time. Actually, I've got a friend of mine that's a private lender, and he tells people all the time, I will not lend to people who have not lost money in real estate. And I said, well, explain that logic to me. He said, well, they're either not doing enough deals, or they're liars. And he said, because eventually you do. It's just like any business. You eat, we call it eating one. You eat one every now and then, right? And you take that, you're either earning or learning. So you take that one as a lesson. You go, oop, that didn't work out well. Won't do that again.
There's a very good friend of mine in California, and his name is Alton, and he says, hey, I spent $100,000 on real estate education. I said, me too. If I didn't pay it to any instructor, I had some $100,000 in problems over the 250 flips. It just happens. So the longer you stay in, the more likely one's going to go bad.
One goes bad, but like you said, it's getting back up on that horse and doing it again.
Absolutely,
right?
You fail when you quit.
You just what I see, especially when markets change and people fall out of this business, it's literally when they stop, and then all those couple of losses kind of pile up. They need to just keep moving, keep churning. So I got a question here on Facebook. Let's take a look. Let me back up a little bit. What percentage in a partnership is the partnership a joint venture?
So typically, it really depends on the experience of our partner, and it's going to be a range. It can be between 25 and 50%. If you're brand new and you've never done one before, then we're going to be closer to 50. If you're a contractor and you've flipped 30 or 40 of these before, and you just don't have the funds or understand the mechanisms, then we're going to be at 25, 30. We'll try and be fair.
Really on a case-by-case basis. And sounds like polish up that resume. So is there a limit to amount of deals to do? I'm not sure. Does that mean at one? I assume that means at one time.
So if you're brand new, we want to try and do one deal at a time.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Because it'll get away from you really fast if you're trying to manage 3 or 4. I know people are aggressive, and I'm going to change my life in the next 90 days and all that stuff. But you're really
be a millionaire in 10 minutes, right?
We're gonna do one at a time if you're brand new, and once you have some experience in it, we'll happily do 2. And then at some point you don't need us anymore. At some point you figure this out and you move on, and that's great. And we're happy to see people graduate from the program.
Okay, let me see if we got more than 10. I think he's asking. I assume you guys will do as many deals with people as they want. He's just talking about at one time.
We'll happily do 10 with you, but at some point you need to figure out how to get access to private lending and all that other stuff. I mean, you can stay married for a long time with us, but at some point you're going to want to take back part of that equity.
Yeah.
And we understand that 1, 2, 3 is great, 4, 5 is good. After that, you should figure it out, and you should move on.
But okay, good deal. Let me see if there's any other questions.
I mean, it's just fair. I mean, it's just right. You got to grow a little bit in this business.
So how do they get in contact with you guys?
So if you're a flipper and you're looking for 100% funding, we have an orientation coming up this Friday. Go to partners.jbfundservices.com. That's partners.jb, like jelly bean, fundservices.com.
Excellent. All right, and that's this Friday?
This Friday, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What time is that on Friday?
It's going to start at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And it'll be running about 10 to 5.
Okay. And you guys go through the whole process of working with you guys, best practices, that sort of thing.
And understanding the numbers. That's a big one. Yep.
Good deal. All right. Rob Orofino, JB Fund Services. Give out that contact info one more time.
Sure. It's partners.jbfundservices.com. Partners.jbfundservices.com.
Excellent. Thank you for your time. It's Jason
you.
Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
All right. Short, sweet, out and about.
Yeah, that was fun. Of course, while I'm on the air.
Oh, that's right. When I was watching this,
know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
All right.
Jay.
Yes, we're back on?
I'm about to go hot mic.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Hot mics 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. It's kind of a
How's
weird.
it going, man?
It's a wild show today.
All right.
We lost some connections, so we're trying to get everybody in as quick as we can. So today is Build Your Team Tuesday. I talk a lot about these guys over at Benchmark Insurance. They have made our lives so much easier. I've got Jafar with me. What is Benchmark Insurance? And talk about insureinvestors.com. That's a big deal for us.
So insureinvestors.com is a portfolio product that we launched about 4 years ago. We've been writing portfolio insurance for quite some time. And what portfolio insurance is, it's basically a policy that allows 7 policies built into one that allows you to add, remove, replace insurance and make changes all based on one fixed rate, which is generally the lowest out there in the U.S. We have it's a full all-risk policy. It pretty much provides you with full replacement cost, no penalties for having vacant or occupied properties. And the best thing is you're getting wind and flood in coastal areas where you necessarily would not be eligible for.
So what a lot of investors miss is you go buy a house and you're going to start a rehab. So you need a builder's risk policy, right? And then you're going to put that house on the market, or you're going to rent it to a tenant, or you're going to sell it retail. And then the house after 30 days is vacant. So you need a vacancy policy.
Correct.
Let's say you put a tenant in there after 30 days. Now you need a landlord policy. Every single time the property changes its status, you need a new policy. And I don't think people realize if you have a loss and you're not covered with the proper policy, they will deny that claim.
Every single time. Every single
It's
time.
the easy way out for the insurance company. Like, oh, it was vacant and you had a builder's risk policy and you experienced a water loss. Sorry. And that's an expensive lesson. And what you guys offer at insureinvestors.com is essentially a one-stop shop, and that policy covers everything.
That's correct. That's correct. And there's a lot of gaps in coverage that people are not aware of in terms of anything that could possibly happen, especially in the rehab process. The minute that the house is completed and it's on the market, you have basically water damage issues that you could face, which can be upwards of $30,000 to $50,000. Let's say when you turn the utilities on and there was a hole in your pipes that you were unaware of, and instantly you have to replace all your drywall, your baseboards, your flooring, the whole 9.5, especially during the closing process. Then you have your vacancy issues. You have a contractor or even a subcontractor who wasn't paid correctly and that you were unaware of. They come back and vandalize your property. That's something that you have to be aware of as well. Those are the things that we see on a daily basis in the day-to-day flip and investor world. So our policy does cover all of those types of those issues.
Yeah, and how many times have you run into folks who have experienced losses where they haven't had the appropriate coverage?
Plenty. Yeah. So we've dealt with it a lot. The most common now that I'm dealing with are experienced investors who don't have the liability in place during the construction process. Now they're acting as their own general contractor, but the people that they are hiring are not insured. So there's a big gap in liability. Of course, you're not going to sue yourself for faulty workmanship on a property that you own, but anything that you hire that contractor out there to do, they're basically your responsibility, because any lawsuit that may happen, they're chasing the money.
That's right. And you're a property owner, which means you're an evil rich guy.
Correct.
And they will always go after evil rich guy. And the only person that's better than evil rich guy is evil rich insurance company, right? That's the whole point. Evil rich insurance company.
Right.
So that's why you want to have a big general liability policy sitting out there.
You should. So an example we had the other day was a foundation expert came out to install some piers, and they hit a gas line. Blew up the house.
No kidding.
Am I covered for it? Does my insurance policy cover stuff like that when you have when you're hiring a contractor who did something incorrectly? So those are things that we run into that are just shocking.
Did it just like level the house or just blow out the window? I mean,
the way it was explained, it blew up the house. It was about at least 51% damage.
Oh, that's right. Because an insurance, if it's over 51%, it's a total loss,
exactly,
right? So it blew the house to pieces. Oh, that is. Did anybody get hurt?
Nobody got hurt. Nobody.
That's amazing.
Thankfully.
That's right up there with. I knew some guys that were lifting a house up, because of water issues and all that. So in order to, before they started the rehab, they had to lift the house up, right? They lift the house up and it actually fell, and there were some guys down underneath it, and they weren't hurt. But I was like, you hear the story and you start laughing. Go, wait a second, did anybody get hurt? Like, no, everyone was fine. I'm like, oh my god, but there were some soiled shorts, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can only imagine sitting there doing some foundation work and the thing just blows up.
And there's some things that you just don't want to be cheap on as a contractor on your own investment properties. Tree cutters. Sounds simple, sounds pretty easy. The most highest liability that you could possibly think of. We had a situation 2 weeks ago where we had a tree that needed to be cut at one of our clients' properties, and the tree branch hits the crane, causing the crane to collapse and fall on the house. And luckily nobody died on the property, but it would have fell back on the property owner's insurance if somebody had. At the end of the day, they're liable.
Yeah.
So that's something that we run into. Those types of trades. Even landscaping nowadays. A rock hits a neighbor's window or hits their Mercedes car door. That could be a $5,000 to $10,000 paint job. Those are things that you just want to make sure just to have contractors in place that are reliable. that can assume those losses.
Yeah, it's kind of like right up there with roofers and of course the guys doing tree trimming. You see them up there with harnesses hanging from the trees and trying to take these trees down. Especially the big dead trees are the ones that are kind of scary when you watch them. Essentially take all the branches off and then they start cutting the tree down. And it's an all day job and it's dangerous. And then of course you see the roofers that are up there and you have a slip off a roof, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And they're going to come after the property owner first.
And those are the two types of trades that you're going to run into that you can find extremely competitive if they are uninsured or under experience. So it's tempting to go, obviously, to take the 40% law, 40% less of a price to get the job done by somebody unexperienced and uninsured.
Yep.
But it is the highest risk from what we see.
So how do they get in contact with you guys? If they've got questions about the policy, how do they get policies written, all that sort of stuff?
So you can give us a call at our office at 281-569-4353, or you can give us a call, or you can visit our website at insureinvestors.com.
And talk a little bit about the portal that y'all have at insureinvestors.com. I know you can pay for policies and get policies written and all that sort of stuff.
It's been a constant struggle with this portal of ours.
Yeah.
We created an online portal to make a user-friendly platform for customers to be able to manage their policy online. We're doing a ton of upgrades. We have a full website development team that is basically building this thing ground up to be able to allow you to basically manage your insurance online and through your day-to-day transactions. So you can quote, you can bind, and you can purchase and have documents created for you, ready to go for closing, all within 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then if you've got a portfolio of properties, one nice thing is you don't have 15 renewals. So you got 15 rental properties, you got 15 renewals. You got one renewal for the whole portfolio.
Correct.
It's super sweet.
And there's nothing that we don't cover, which is great. So we take the ugliest of properties. Obviously, we're underwriting it based on the investor's experience, how many transactions that you do a year, how much, where your properties are located, how well they're maintained, and then we give you the best price from there.
So, and the other thing I almost forgot too is a lot of times when new investors start out, they buy an insurance policy, and then typically at some point that policy is fully earned. So they're not going to get. They think, oh, I only use 6 months of a year policy. I'm going to get 6 months back. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Especially on builder's risk policies.
Yeah, builder's risk policies. Hey, thanks for the check. Oh, you finished early? Thanks.
Sorry.
It's a little extra profit we put in our pocket. So, but with you guys, with y'all's insureinvestors.com, you only pay for what you use, right?
Correct. It literally bills you day to day, and it causes a lot of billing frustration because you're wondering why in February your bill was this when in March it was a little different.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, basically we're only charging you for 28 days versus 31 days.
That's right.
And it's a day to day policy. It's the same type of policy that banks use to force place insurance on your properties. So banks generally don't have to deal with underwriting. They don't have to deal with calling an insurance broker and getting rates. They basically need insurance and they need A-rated coverage right away whenever somebody is not providing them with proof of coverage. That's the kind of policy that we have. We've just converted it over to investors.
And it works for flippers. It works for landlords, wholesalers. Just
property managers.
Yeah. Property managers
for sure.
Lenders, in case they do have to force place coverage on a particular property, right?
Lenders.
And then, of course, it's pretty easy for lenders because then they can say, "Hey, look, get this insurance policy and make sure I'm named as an additional insured on the policy." So it works really well for everybody. And is that just for Harris County, or is it? Are you guys all over?
It's a nationwide product, and like Jason said, it's a product where you can have multiple entities on one policy as long as there's a common interest. So a lender can have, a wide array of clients that he lends money to on one policy. We have several of those setups. We also have owner finance properties, which we do. You could have multiple named insureds, multiple additional named insureds on the policy, as well as multiple mortgagees.
So if I had 6 partnerships with different partners and multiple LLCs, you guys can put all that in kind of one bucket.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then you just bill, and then you guys just bill for.
We can invoice
policies.
separately.
Yeah. Perfect.
Per
I don't know if this policy gets any better.
No.
It's especially when folks start in real estate and you're doing 1 and 2 at a time. It's you the insurance thing is it's okay. Doing one policy, but then when you start doing 2 or 3 houses at a time, or you got some rental properties, it turns into a complete nightmare to manage.
It is.
And working with somebody like you guys in that insureinvestors.com, where you can put all this stuff in the same bucket. Oh, I'm flipping 3 houses this month, and I've got 7 rental properties, right? And you don't wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweat going, do I have all my properties insured? Exactly. That was the thing that used to drive me crazy. I'm like, is everything insured? Oh, did we get the renewal? Oh, the flood renewal is different than this renewal. That's different.
It's like, always on the last thing to do.
Yeah.
And I've done it myself. I mean, I have my own package for my own investment properties. And I continually forget to add properties to my own package.
Yeah.
So it's imagine if I had to go out and shop every single one.
Every single one of them.
That
it's
I
like
had to
at closing. You go to the website, you fill out the paperwork, you get it done in 15 minutes, and it's paid, and it just keeps rolling. Contact information for you guys one last time.
Yes, it's jfody at benchmarkbroker.com, and you can reach us at 281-569-4353 or at insureinvestors.com. Please give us a call anytime.
Javar, appreciate it. Benchmark Insurance is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Thank you.
Mike's off.
Like that, huh? Now you're gonna go home and sleep, huh?
Shit.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS comps, you can understand the frustration. How much would it help you if you no longer had to wait for a real estate agent to get you the info you need to close a deal? Propelio is a brokerage website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high-equity lead lists and comps with access to a network of the top real estate agents. Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
No, just in Dallas.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent,
all right, Nikki,
unbiased
how much time do we have left?
Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400
seconds.
evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pure work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation.
Okay, so we're going to have the same amount of time at the end here.
Yeah, do you want me to put another commercial? Do you want a little shorter? Or?
Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed
that's cool.
engineer. Remember to check.
We can just
call
call
346-702-3825.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Go ahead and run the ads and then make my last segment shorter.
3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
I'll put a minute in.
That's foundationcheck.com.
Let me see how much time I got. Hold
You
on.
found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why.
All right, if I put a minute commercial in, you're going to have like 2.5 minutes to talk.
Specializing in investment real
How's that
estate.
sound?
We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
This is Business 1110.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. It's Build Your Team Tuesday. I'll tell you, the best place to continue to build your team is at our Thursday night events. This Thursday, I'll be in Dallas. Actually, in Dallas last night for an event. Be in Dallas Thursday night. Tom is going to talk about how to estimate a rehab. 10 minutes within 10% of the budget. That's how professional real estate investors do it. We're going to have some vendors there as well, and those folks can help you build your team here. Thursday in Houston, not this week, but the following week, 17th. We're going to be talking about money, how to raise money for your deals. And we're also going to have a huge vendor room. We got a vendor program of 55 vendors. If you go to rightpathrealestate.com, you can download that list of those vendors. You can also meet those people live to build your team at our events. You can work with those folks. You can get ideas. They can give you expertise in their particular areas, get business cards, get to know these folks, and start doing business with them. These are the people that we do business with. That's why we built our vendor program. If you want more information, go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can go to facebook.com/rightpathrealestate. Weekend retreat. It's coming up about 2 weeks. August 25th, 26th, 27th. It'll be in Dallas, Fort Worth. Great way to meet you guys that are out of the state. DFW is a pretty inexpensive flight. And for those of y'all who are in DFW, we'll see you at that event. If you want to sign up for that, go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can also send an email to our support staff at support@rightpathrealestate.com. We spend the entire weekend retreat talking about how we built this business. There's no secrets that we keep from you, no stone unturned. We share the whole enchilada, how we went from buying a few houses a year to over 100 in 4 years. You want to buy 5 houses or 50 in a year, we can show you how to do that at the weekend retreat. Like I said, go to rightpathrealestate.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Great show. I will see y'all in Dallas on Thursday. We'll also be doing our base camp from Dallas. So for those of y'all in our base camp program, we'll meet you in Dallas. Otherwise, if you're outside of the Dallas market, we'll be doing a simulcast. So we'll see you guys bright-eyed, bushy-tailed tomorrow morning. Tom and I will both be in studio. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
All right, Jay, have a good day.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at Right Path